Welcome to The Explainer. For all you law students out there, this is a big one. We're diving deep into a Bombay High Court judgment that asks a fundamental question. What happens when a court order, especially for alimony, is built on a foundation of lies? This isn't just about a family dispute, it's about a fraud on the court itself.
So, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's exactly what the court had to tackle in Arun Kashinath Deshpande versus Inumati Ramchandra Deo. We're going to look at how the discovery of a truth that was hidden for years forced a total re-examination of an old order, and what it means when someone lies in a legal proceeding.
All right, let's get into it. Here's our game plan. We'll start with the timeline, just to get the facts straight. Then we hit the big twist, a shocking admission that changes everything. From there, we'll break down the 3 key legal questions the court had to answer, unpack their really clever reasoning, and finally, see why this case is still such a landmark precedent today.
Okay, first things first. Let's lay out the factual foundation. You have to understand the timeline here, because it shows just how long this whole situation went on. We're talking nearly 2 decades. So the couple marries in 84, and they're divorced by 91. The court awards the wife 600 rupees a month in alimony, which gets bumped up to 800 a few years later. Now, for almost a decade, the husband pays this alimony, all based on one single crucial piece of information presented to the court, the idea that the wife couldn't support herself. But then, in 2001, everything changes when the husband files an application to get that order canceled.
And this is where the story takes a massive turn. This isn't your standard matrimonial case anymore. It becomes a serious allegation of fraud. Fraud played directly on the court.
The husband's application was, well, pretty explosive. He wasn't just saying she got a job. He was alleging a long-term pattern of deception. He claimed that the whole time she was telling the court she had 0 income, she was actually running multiple businesses, owned a shop, an STD booth, and even had investments in buildings. A totally different financial reality.
Now, this is the kicker. Check out this slide. The information you're seeing, it's not from the husband's investigation. This is from the wife's own sworn affidavit that she filed in response. She flat out admits to earning money from the 3 different businesses. A store, another store with an STD booth, and a typing business. It's all right there, in her own words. So let's do the math. You add all that up, and she's making around 8,000 rupees a month. Think about that. She was receiving 800 rupees in alimony, while making 10 times that amount on her own, by her own admission. This wasn't some small oversight. This was a massive material fact that, had the court known about it, would have completely changed the original alimony order.
You can imagine this admission was a bombshell. It just blew the case wide open, and it forced the High Court to grapple with 3 very distinct and very important legal questions.
So the court broke it down like this. First, the immediate issue. Should they cancel the alimony going forward? Was that the right call? Second, the look-back question. What about all that money she already got for nearly a decade based on a lie? Should she have to pay it back? And third, the punitive question. Did she commit a crime by lying to the court, and should she be prosecuted for it? Okay, so let's get to the heart of the judgment. For all you law students, this is the ratio decidendi, the legal reasoning that drove the court's final decision. How did the judges work their way through these 3 huge questions? The whole legal fight really came down to this one little section of the Hindu Marriage Act, Section 25, subsection 2. Now, the wife's lawyer made a pretty slick argument. They said, hey, there's no change in circumstances here. She had this income the whole time, it just wasn't disclosed. So from her point of view, nothing had actually changed. But the High Court saw right through that. And this is the genius of the court's reasoning. They completely reframed the question. They said the change in circumstances isn't about what was true for the wife. It's about what was known to the court. The court made its first decision based on no income. The discovery that she actually had a substantial income, well, that's a massive change to the set of facts the court was working with. And that gave them the opening they needed under Section 25(2) to go back and fix the order. Just brilliant. And this quote just nails it. This is a classic case of what lawyers call suppressio veri suggestio falsi. You suppress the truth to suggest a lie. The court basically said that when you get an order from a court by hiding the truth like this, that order is obtained through fraud. And an order obtained by fraud, it can absolutely be set aside. So here's the final scorecard. On canceling the alimony, the court sided with the husband. They stopped the payments right from the date he filed his application. But when it came to the refund and the criminal charges, the court took a much more practical, some might even say controversial path. They decided not to order a refund and not to start perjury proceedings. Why? They explicitly said they wanted to end the litigation, to bring some finality to it, not add more fuel to the fire. It's a fascinating balancing act. So why are we still talking about a case from 2010? What's its lasting legacy? Well, let's break down the important principles that this judgment really hammered home. So here are the big takeaways. First, hiding your income isn't a small thing. It's a material misrepresentation that can amount to fraud. Second, the court clarified that discovering hidden income is a change in circumstances, at least from the court's perspective. Third, and this is so important, it reinforced that alimony is a discretionary relief. It's not an automatic right. It's conditioned on you being totally honest. And finally, it shows that courts have to walk this tightrope between delivering pure justice and the practical reality of ending disputes.
When you boil it all down, the legacy of Deshpande versus Deo is that it powerfully reinforces the clean hands doctrine in family law. It sends a crystal clear message. If you come to a court asking for something like maintenance, you have an absolute duty to lay all your financial cards on the table. It's not optional, it's the price of admission.
And this leaves us with one final fascinating question to think about. By choosing not to order a refund and not to pursue criminal charges, the court made a very deliberate choice. It valued finality over a full reckoning. And that highlights a deep tension in the law itself. What's the court's main job? To punish every lie and find the absolute truth? Or to resolve disputes and help people move on, even if the resolution isn't perfect? It's a debate that's still very much alive today.